Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Today we will discuss about simple harmonic motion SHM. Like what kind of questions will come, what are the basic formulas we have. So first of all, let us just try to understand that what is simple harmonic motion. If you consider any particle from one fixed position or from one equilibrium position, if it is performing to and fro motion, then we call it as, or then we say that oscillatory motion. And in an oscillatory motion, if the acceleration of the particle is always towards a fixed point or that equilibrium position, it is moving right side but acceleration is towards this. If it is moving left side, still the acceleration is towards this point. Then we say that the particle is in SHM. For such particle in SHM, what happens is, when it is traveling, we will take equilibrium position as reference. So from the equilibrium position, as it is moving in one direction, displacement of the particle increases first. And at one particular point, it reaches maximum, then its velocity becomes 0, then it starts come back. And then it starts moving in opposite direction, then again velocity becomes 0, then again it will come back. So the displacement always will be measured from the central position or equilibrium position. So at any point the displacement is x, and the displacement is varying like first 0 to maximum. That maximum is called A. Maximum displacement we represent with A, amplitude. Then it becomes 0. Then it is going to maximum but in opposite direction, that's why it is minus A. Then again coming back, then the displacement again becomes 0. So this is called one oscillation. So in one oscillation, the displacement changes in this manner. Not only displacement, its velocity also keep on changes. Here the velocity is maximum first. Velocity is maximum. Then it reaches the other end, then it becomes 0. Then it come back, then it again becomes maximum but negative maximum because moving in opposite direction. Then it reaches the end, again it will become 0. Then it will reach the again the central position, then again Vmax. So like this, displacement, velocity, also acceleration of the particle at every point keep on changes. And how they changes, for that they have given one equation. How they have given the equation is, there is one condition for every particle in SHM. Linear SHM or angular SHM when you consider. See, there are two types of SHM. Like if the particle is moving like this, then it is called linear SHM. Or if you take a simple pendulum, if you displace it slightly, then it will oscillate like this. Then it is called angular SHM. But here we have to consider one approximation that theta should be very small. Theta should be very small. Then only this is called SHM. Then in any case, at one particular instant from the starting, what is the displacement? That displacement equation is either A sin omega t or A cos omega t. These are the two equations. So why two equations? Because two situations they will give. That is, if the particle starting from equilibrium position, then at t equal to 0, the displacement 0, then the equation is x equal to A sin omega t. If the particle is not starting from equilibrium position, if it is starting from end position, from the point where the displacement is maximum, If it is starting from this point at t equal to 0, x is a maximum, then x value is a cos omega t. Now you can get one doubt that, sir, what if it is not starting from center or if it is not starting from end? If it is starting from any random point x, then the equation is x equal to a sin omega t plus pi, where pi is the initial phase or initial angular position. Like I will tell you with this example. See here, this is the simple pendulum. It is oscillating between these 2 points. So this is the maximum displacement or maximum angular displacement. Then this, suppose starting from here, means not starting from equilibrium position, not starting from ending position. Some random position it is starting. Then the initial angle made is called, let's take pi. So that initial angle is called this pi, angular position. Initial angular position of the particle is called initial phase. After some time, suppose it covered some angle omega t, then what is the total angular position? Omega t plus pi. So this omega t plus pi is called phase or angular position. So omega t plus pi is called phase or angular position. X is called path or linear position of the particle. So that when a particle is performing SHM, the displacement changes, velocity changes, acceleration keep on changes. They oscillate, they fluctuate such that maximum to minimum, minimum to maximum, like that. But in all the possible cases, in case of entrance, there are 3 types of equations for SHM. One is a sin omega t, another is a cos omega t, and another is a sin omega t plus pi. So these are the 3 equations as I explained, starting from equilibrium position, starting from ending position, starting from one random position. So let's see how the questions will come based on these equations. Now, most of the times they will ask question based on starting from equilibrium position, and in our syllabus also all the equations have been derived based on that equation only. Like, so the displacement equation of a particle in SHM is a sin omega t. Then what else they can ask? Next thing, what is the velocity? So what is the velocity? Dx by dt. So here a is constant, differentiation of sin is cos, but here not t is there, omega t. You have to differentiate it again, so that it will become a omega cos omega t. From here, sin omega t I can write it as x by a. Then cos omega t is under root 1 minus sin square theta. So that it will become 1 minus x square by a square equal to under root a square minus x square by a square, that is under root a square minus x square by a. Now here velocity is a omega cos omega t. I can substitute in place of cos omega t. So that root of a square minus x square by a. So a cancel. So v equal to omega into a square minus x square. So based on the displacement they can ask question. Based on the velocity they can ask question. Similar way they can ask question based on acceleration. So what is the acceleration? dv by dt. So a omega constant into differentiation of cos is minus sin theta into omega, so that minus omega square into a sin omega t. So minus omega square into a sin omega t is nothing but x. So that this is what the acceleration equation. So for velocity there are 2 equations. For acceleration there are 2 equations. One is in terms of time, another is in terms of displacement. So the very first kind of question they can ask based on these equations. Like I'll first write once all the equations together, then I'll tell you what kind of questions they can ask you. Like displacement is a sine omega t and velocity is a omega cos omega t, or else omega into under root a square minus x square, or else acceleration is minus omega square a sine omega t or minus omega square x. Now suppose the question asked particle starting from equilibrium position, how much time it takes to cover half of the maximum amplitude? Means what? Starting from equilibrium position, but it is not reaching ending position, it should reach exactly midpoint, half of the amplitude. So to reach from here to here, what is the time? So how do you find? You will take x equation, that is a sine omega t, where x value should be how much? A by 2. So a cancel, then sine omega t equal to 1 by 2. So omega t equal to how much? Sine 30 degrees, that means pi by 6. Here what is omega? Omega is 2 pi by t, where t is what? Time period. Time taken to complete one oscillation, that is called time period. So that here if you substitute 2 pi by t into t equal to pi by 6, pi cancel, so t equal to t by 12. So this is the time taken to complete just half of the amplitude. If they are asking to complete one amplitude, then it will take how much time? See here, starting at t equal to 0. So it reaches here after t by 4 time. Then again it come back after t by 2 time. Then it will reach here after 3t by 4. T by 4, t by 4, t by 4. 1 quarter oscillation. Then here time. So for one side t by 4. Coming back t by 4. For other side t by 4. Coming back t by 4. So total time is capital T. Like this they can ask question. Anything. The displacement can be anything. How much time it takes to cover a by root 2 displacement. So like that they will ask. Or they may ask question like, if it is starting from end position, then also they can ask. Then also you can do it, but you need to take cos formula in that case. Because starting from end position means x should be equal to a cos omega t. That is the difference. Now, sometimes they will also ask velocity based questions. Like, what is the maximum velocity? See here, cos theta is the variable. What is the maximum value for 1? Cos theta, 1. So what is the V maximum can become? A into omega. So this is the maximum value of velocity. Similarly, this is the acceleration. So what is the maximum acceleration? That is omega square A. So omega square A. Because one maximum value for sine also 1. Then based on this they can ask question like A maximum by V maximum if you take. Omega square A by omega A cancel. So you can find omega or time period. That is A maximum by V maximum. Or else you can find in this way, like you square V maximum. So V maximum square by A maximum if you take. V maximum square means omega square A square by A maximum is omega square A. So cancel. So what will come? A. So you can find the amplitude from V maximum and A maximum. Or sometimes they can ask question based on only velocity depending on displacement. Suppose comparison. V1 is the velocity at position x1 and V2 is the velocity at position x2. Then find the relation between them. So here then you have to take this relation. So V1 is omega under root A square minus x1 square. V2 is omega under root a square minus x2 square. If you take the ratio under root a square minus x1 square by a square minus x2 square. So if you square both sides, then you can get the relation between them. They may give v1 x1 v2 x2 and they can ask you a value, or they may give you a value, they can ask you v1 or v2, anything. So this kind of comparison based questions also they can ask you. So based on simple equation of SHM and velocity in SHM and acceleration in SHM. And always remember, like here, suppose you consider half of the displacement. This is full. Now this time we found how much? T by 12. Then this time also they can ask. Then what it will become? T by 4 from here to here. So minus T by 12. How much it will become? T by 6. Then in reverse also same thing. From here to here again T by 6. From here to here again T by 12. So that way also they can ask logical question. Or sometimes they will ask you like this also. From here to here. This is A, this is A, this is A by 2. So from here to here they can ask. So this is T by 12, this is T by 12. So total is T by 6. Like that, simple logical based questions they will ask you based on the displacement, velocity and acceleration equations. Now let's see the other question based on the same equation. That is, one is kinetic energy, that is half mv square, and another one is potential energy, that is half kx square. So here, to understand this, first thing, whenever particle is in SHM, for every particle in SHM, see, as I said, it is going to move in one direction, but it will come back. When it is possible, when there is some force pulling it back, it is trying to move, right? But still it is coming back after some time, means what? Someone is pushing it back. So that's why it is coming back. So here, there is always one restoring force, always acts towards the center. So that restoring force is equal to minus kx, because that restoring force is proportional to minus x, just like spring force. So in case of restoring force, what is the work done in displacing by x will become is half kx square. So this work done only will be storing as potential energy. That's why we will take potential energy as half kx square, where in SHM k value is m omega square. M is mass, omega is angular velocity or angular frequency. And here if you substitute the equations, so kinetic energy is half mv square, where v value if you substitute a omega cos square omega t, because v equal to a omega cos omega t, or else half m, another formula is there in terms of displacement. So for kinetic energy also we got two formulas, one in time, one in displacement. So two formulas are there. Similar way, if you consider potential energy also half m omega square x square, one formula. If you substitute x value, half m omega square a square sin square omega t, another formula. So there is kinetic energy, there is potential energy. Then they can ask you what is the total energy. Total energy is sum of kinetic and potential energy. If you add both of them, either these two or these two, because this is time equation. Here this one, here this one, same. Half m omega square a square. Remaining cos square theta plus sin square theta, how much? 1. So this is the total energy that always remains constant, because it is not depending on time. So kinetic energy changes, potential energy changes, but total energy remains constant. And here I will tell you with one diagram like how the displacement, acceleration all will change. So if you consider this is the SHM, between these two positions it is performing, and this is equilibrium position, then here displacement 0, velocity maximum and acceleration 0. As displacement 0, acceleration also 0. And here velocity 0, displacement maximum, acceleration maximum but negative. And this side displacement maximum but negative, velocity 0, acceleration maximum but positive. Now here velocity maximum means kinetic energy maximum but potential energy minimum. And here potential energy maximum, kinetic energy 0. Here also kinetic energy 0, potential energy maximum. So this way from equilibrium to end position, these all quantities will change. This only we represent with a graph like this. So this is the displacement variation. 0 to maximum, 0 to maximum, then maximum to 0, then 0 to negative maximum, then 0. Or if you take velocity initially maximum, then it will go to 0, then it will go to maximum in opposite direction, then again 0, then again maximum. If you take acceleration initially 0 but next negative maximum directly, then again 0, then positive maximum, then 0. Similar way kinetic energy and potential energy also you can draw. See, kinetic energy first maximum, then 0, then again maximum, but kinetic energy will not become negative, always positive, then again 0, then again maximum. Now if you take potential energy, here it is 0 minimum, then it will become maximum, then 0, like this. So this is the difference between kinetic energy and potential energy. This is the difference between displacement, velocity and acceleration variation. So this is all the various parameters based on which questions can come in the entrance based on SHM. Let's see further continuation. What else they can ask based on the simple harmonic motion. Now the next kind of question is based on these energies, like, so kinetic energy is half m omega square a square minus x square. Potential energy is half m omega square x square. So they can ask you like, at what position or at what displacement kinetic energy and potential energy both are equal, like. So both are equal means half m omega square a square minus x square equal to half m omega square x square. So both get cancelled each other. Now here a square minus x square equal to x square. So a square equal to, if it goes upside, other side, so x equal to a by root 2 or plus or minus a by root 2, either right side or left side. That's why plus or minus. So this is the one condition they can ask, or else they can ask you like, in generally kinetic energy is n times potential energy. So generally I am telling, so kinetic energy is n times potential energy. So what is the corresponding displacement? Like here if you substitute half m omega square a square minus x square equal to n into half m omega square x square, these two cancel. Then here it will come a square minus x square equal to nx square. So a square equal to, if you take that side, 1 plus n x square, then x equal to a by root 1 plus n. Like that you can take one general formula also. So depending on the relation between kinetic energy and potential energy, they can ask you the questions. The next one based on the graphs. As I have shown, see here, this is the displacement graph like this, and this is the, let's take like this. So take for one oscillation. This is 0 time, this is t by 4, this is t by 2, this is 3t by 4, this is t. Now what is the corresponding phase? Omega t is the phase. So at t equal to 0, omega t is 0. At t equal to t by 4, omega is 2 pi by t. T is t by 4 equal to pi by 2. Then similar way, next to t by 2 means phase is pi. Then at 3t by 4 if you take, the phase will become 3 pi by 2. Then at t equal to capital T, the phase will become 2 pi. That means 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. Now if you consider the velocity, that looks like this, the graph, like this. Or if you consider the acceleration, it will be like this. So if you consider, see here, this is looking like actually starting from here. This is looking like actually starting from here. So what is this phase difference between one loop like this? 0 to pi. So what is the phase? Pi. So between x and acceleration, phase difference is how much? Pi. If you consider only half loop like this, 0 to pi by 2. So this is how much? Pi by 2. So between x and v also there is a phase difference, how much? Pi by 2. Between v and a also there is a phase difference, how much? Pi minus pi by 2, pi by 2. So when you consider, based on this, they will ask you the question, which is having more phase, which is having less phase, or what is the phase difference between these two quantities, or these two quantities, or these two quantities, like between displacement and velocity, or between velocity and acceleration. Like that they can ask questions based on that. Now after that they'll ask you questions based on time period of any system, unknown system. So when they are asking you to find the time period of a system, what you have to use is force law. Force law in SHM. Force law in SHM. What does that mean is, you have to find the restoring force. What is this? Restoring force. And how to find restoring force? First you have to displace the given system from equilibrium position by x, very small displacement. For a small displacement, when you displace it and leave it, then what is the restoring force for the system you need to find. Then you have to prove that that force is some constant into x or minus x. So then this force you will write it as mass into acceleration. Then acceleration will come in the form of something into minus x. Then if we compare with the generalized formula, what is acceleration? Minus omega square x. So this is the value which is equal to omega square. Then you will get omega value something. Then you can find the time period, that is 2 pi by omega. Like in our syllabus, we have two systems based on which usually they will ask questions. Like, what are the questions? Sorry, what are the two cases? One is simple pendulum. And another one is spring mass system. Spring mass system. These are the two cases based on which usually questions will be asked in the CET or NEET entrance. So here if you consider, let's say first there is a surface, one spring of constant K attached to a mass M. Then this is the equilibrium position. Now you displace the body by a distance x. As I said, first you need to displace it from equilibrium position. Then of course it will come back. So because of what force it is coming back here, you pull it, then spring will stretch. As spring stretches, spring force will develop, that will develop in opposite direction. So who will pull the mass towards equilibrium again? The spring force. So because of that force, it will reach the end, velocity becomes zero, and again pulling back means it will reach this point with maximum velocity. So when it reaches the equilibrium position back, it is not having zero velocity, it is having maximum velocity. So because of that velocity, now what it will do is it will start compress this one. So slowly compresses and it reaches the maximum how much? X again. So that what happens here is, first the potential energy will develop, the kinetic energy will decrease. While it is coming back, kinetic energy will increase, then potential energy decreases. Then again compression means potential energy increases, kinetic energy decreases. So these fluctuations happens. So that this will oscillate about this equilibrium position. Now what is our duty? Find the time period, that is the important thing. So to find the time period, T equal to 2 pi by omega. But we want to find omega. So to find omega, now what we require? As I said, you need to find the acceleration equation, which is like minus omega square x. Then here, what is the restoring force? First you have to look at. That is minus kx, where k is what? Spring constant. Then force, if you write mass into acceleration, minus kx, then a equal to minus k by m into x. Now this, if you compare with the general equation, in place of omega square, what is there? K by m. Then what is omega? Under root k by m. Then what is time period? 2 pi by omega. So 2 pi root m by k. Because omega is in denominator, so it will become reverse. So this is the time period of a spring mass system. Even if you take the vertical spring, also same thing. You take a spring attached from ceiling, and at the other end, if you attach one mass and slightly pull it by x and leave it, then it will oscillate, and there also time period is how much? 2 pi root m by k. So this is the spring mass system. Now similar way, if you consider simple pendulum system, like now this is a simple pendulum. Now it is going to this maximum, or at one instant it is here where displacement is x, like this. Now the angle rotated is theta. Now this is the length of the pendulum. Let's take this is L. Now here at this particular position, if you consider, mg will act downward, tension will act along the string. Now if you take this line same, so this is theta means this is theta. So at this point, this is tension, this is mg, and in this direction theta is there. Now if you take components, this is mg cos theta and this is mg sin theta. These two get cancel each other, each are equal and opposite. No motion in this direction. Pendulum is not going like this, it is going like this. So who is the force acting towards equilibrium position? Mg sin theta. So in case of simple pendulum, the restoring force is mg sin theta. But as it is restoring force, we will take minus. This is the restoring force. Now after taking this restoring force, we need to manipulate, because we want equation in terms of x. So here sin theta equal to what? Opposite by hypotenuse L. Then substitute here Fr equal to minus mg x by L. So here force equal to mass into acceleration minus mg x by L. So cancel. Then A value we got it as minus G by Lx. So if you compare with general equation, then omega square place what is there? G by L. Then omega will become under root G by L. Then time period will become 2 pi by omega. So that t equal to 2 pi root L by G. So this is the time period. So the time period of a simple pendulum depends on length and acceleration due to gravity. So based on these two cases, direct question can come. But also there are some application based questions will come based on these two cases. So what are those application based questions? Let us try to understand now. Now the questions will be based on like applications on simple pendulum and spring mass system. First let us consider spring mass system. First if you consider spring mass system, so one spring if it is connected to a mass, then the time period is 2 pi root m by k. That is what we have studied. Sometimes they will give one simple application that two springs they will connect to the same mass. Then the two springs are not connected to mass directly, they connected in series. Let's take K1, K2. Then in this case, it behaves like one effective spring whose constant is K or Ks. Now 1 by Ks will become 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. So that Ks equal to K1 K2 by K1 plus K2. So that here the time period will become 2 pi root m by Ks. That's it. If sometime they have given like this is K1, this is K2 connected to a mass m, then the time period is 2 pi root m by K parallel. Here also two springs connected, but they connected individually to the mass. Then we say that they are in parallel connection. Then K parallel equal to K1 plus K2. Or same parallel condition also they will give like this. See, this is one spring, this is mass, this is another spring. Here also both the springs connected independently, then also we say that they are in parallel. Not only this one, suppose they have given like this. Now also they are in parallel connection only, because all the three are connected in independent manner. Like few simple questions they will give based on that. So one example I will tell you, like consider suppose like this. So all are having K, K, K. This is the mass m. Now first if you consider these two are connected to this independently. So these two are in parallel, then the system first it will become like this. So these two resultant will become 2K. Now it is in series with K and it is attached to mass m. Now these two are in series means now it will become like one effective spring whose constant will become 2K into K by 2K plus K 3K. So that will become 2K by 3. Then the time period will become 2 pi root m by K series or K resultant. That is 2 pi root m by 2K by 3. So this way, which are connected in series, which are connected in parallel, simple combination like you have done in case of resistors, capacitors, same kind of combination you need to consider and same kind of logic you need to apply, so that when you find the effective spring constant, then you can find the resultant time period. Now, suppose if you consider simple pendulum case, simple cases. So, when there is a pendulum, the time period is 2 pi root L by G. Now, the very first case, suppose there is a lift and you have attached the simple pendulum to the lift, where it is at rest or it is moving with constant velocity. Then acceleration here is 0, so that tension up, mg down. So no other extra force. So at every point the restoring force will become mg sin theta only. So the time period will become 2 pi root L by G. Or when you consider same lift going up with positive acceleration A, then tension and mg and one pseudo force ma, so that the net force will become mg plus ma. So the resultant R, the restoring force at any point, will become component of mg plus ma, that is m into g plus a. Then the time period will become 2 pi root L by G effective, where G effective is how much here? G plus A. In the similar way, if you consider the same lift case, if it is going down with acceleration A, then tension up, mg down, but ma upward now. Then tension will become mg minus ma, so m into g minus a. Now G effective will become G minus a. So if there is an additional force apart from gravitational force, then G effective will change, so that time period also changes. And as we have studied in thermal properties, time period also depends on temperature. As temperature changes, so the time period is directly proportional to length. That's why we have taken the formula 2 delta T by T equal to delta L by L or alpha delta theta. So based on this also questions can be asked. But same pendulum, suppose if you have attached, suppose this is a vehicle. Now this is traveling on the road horizontally, not up or down. Now you have attached one simple pendulum to this. Then mg will act down, ma will act here. Now the resultant restoring force will become mg whole square plus ma whole square. So it will become m into under root g square plus a square. First case mg. But here m into this is g effective. So now what is the time period will become? T equal to 2 pi root L by G effective is how much? Under root G square plus A square. So this way different applications they will give. And one more formula also try to remember, that is T equal to 2 pi root of G into 1 by L plus 1 by R. So what is this is? This is the time period of pendulum having very large length compared to radius of earth, where radius of earth is how much? 3600 kilometers. If it is very high length, then you can consider this, that this is the formula. If the pendulum is having infinite length, then the time period will become 1 by infinity is 0, so 2 pi root R by G. Chances are there, they can ask question based on this particular situation. So these are the two formulas related to pendulum having great length or infinite length, very huge length. Or sometimes they will ask question like, see here, if there is a tunnel along the diameter of radian earth. So if you drop a particle of mass m, then first it will get attracted, then it will acquire maximum speed, then it will start going down this. But again the gravitational pull is now upward, so then here it will become zero velocity, then again it will go back. Then here again maximum velocity, then it will go up. Then again gravitational pull down, so that the velocity becomes here zero, then again come back. So that along the tunnel it will oscillate like this. So in this case also time period is 2 pi root r by g. So this is the another case. Please try to remember it. Now one more last and final thing I will tell you, that is, suppose there is some electric field, maybe upward or downward, two cases are possible. So either upward electric field they can give or downward electric field they can give. Anything is possible. Then what they will do is they will keep one pendulum here and they will give some charge to the bomb. Or they can give positive charge or they can give negative charge. Here also same thing. Here positive charge or negative charge. Here electric field upward, here electric field downward. Then what happens actually? Because actually only mg will act. But here a charge is placed in the presence of electric field means there is also one more force, electrostatic force, that is up. Now here if you consider it is negative charge, that's why tension up, mg down, no one can change that. But negative charge means electric force will be in the opposite direction. So here the resultant force is mg minus qe. Here the resultant force is mg plus qe. Then if you take m common, then g plus qe by m. Here if you take m common, g minus qe by m. That means here g effective is g minus qe by m. Here g effective is g plus qe by m. Then what is the time period formula? Generalized time period is 2 pi root L by g effective. Similar way if you consider these two cases, similar formulas will come. Just see here. Here positive charge. So tension up, first mg down. Field down, positive charge. So electric force also down. So here also what is the resultant force? mg plus qe. Same like this case. So negative charge in upward field, positive charge in downward field, same time period, same effect. And here negative charge in downward field means tension up, mg down. Then here electric field down, so electric force up, then mg minus qe. Now this is same like this. So positive charge up case, negative charge down case, both are same. Or negative charge up case or positive charge down case, I mean downward field, both are same. Like that, so they can relate in with various type of chapters related to simple harmonic motion. So most of the times they will give the question based on whatever formulas we have seen. If by chance if they have given any unknown question, then you have to use the force law in SHM, where you have to displace the particle from its mean position by small displacement. Then you need to find the restoring force on the particle. Then you need to apply that A equal to omega square x formula. Then you will compare and get omega. Then you can find the time period. So this is the way you need to understand what are all the parameters associated, what are all the types of questions will come. One last and final I will tell you, that is also sometimes important. So last final thing, that is if there are two SHMs, like x1 is a1 sin omega t, another is x2 equal to a2 sin, but there is a phase difference. Then If they superimpose each other, then what is the resultant equation they will ask? That is x equal to a sine omega t plus theta. Now how to deal with that one is, now you have to just consider a1 is one amplitude, a2 is another amplitude, a is the resultant amplitude, just like vectors, where a1 a2 angle is phi and the resultant is making an angle theta, then the formula is a square equal to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi. Just like vector addition or vector resultant. Just substitute in this formula. So this is about superposition of two SHMs with a particular phase difference pi. So based on that also sometimes they can ask question. So if you know vector rules, if you know triangular law of vector addition, if you know parallelogram law of vector addition, you can do this question very easily. You have to check what are the two equations, what are the two amplitudes, and what is the phase difference between them. Then how can we find the resultant amplitude? And here theta, if you want to find, there is a formula from parallelogram law. What is that? Tan theta means angle with a1 means a2 sin pi by a1 plus a2 cos pi. So like b sin theta by a plus b cos theta formula will be there in parallelogram law of vector addition. Same way here also, like I will show you just in a simple manner. If this is a bar and this is b bar, then we will form one parallelogram. Then the diagonal between them will give resultant. This is the angle between them. This is angle made with alpha. Then what was the formula we have learned there? B sin theta by a plus b cos theta. So same way I applied here, same way you have to apply in the question solving. So this is how the complete main important model questions based on which they can ask question in the CET or NEET. So please practice the relevant questions. If possible, I will also send one assignment based on this. Thank you.